You're only eating 1,200 calories. Good Lord, sister, we probably need to double that. 9 out of 10 girls that join our program are eating more than they did when they started, and they're finally losing weight and they're finally toned because they have muscle on their body and their body is not stuck in fight or flight mode and protecting them by storing fat. Hello, and welcome to Body Language by Embody You. I'm Annette Lane, and I'm so glad you're here. This show is where we take a step back from the shoulds and the should nots of social media and really learn what your body is saying and how to speak its language. We're going to dive into topics like gut health, birth control, cycle health, and give you real-world, honest examples of what these actually might mean to you. My goal is to create a space that you can come back to whenever you need a reset or just don't know how to go forward. New episodes will be released weekly, and I cannot wait to take you along with this journey. Let's get started. We're back with another episode of Body Language by Embody You, and today's topic is a controversial one, and it's tracking your food. Today, we're going to talk about why tracking might feel obsessive, why tracking can be healthy and how to do it healthy, and just the mindset behind it and how to stop obsessing over it. So let's get right into it, because I know this is a topic that we talk to probably every single one of our girls about, because truth be told, we do teach macros inside Embody You for a multitude of reasons. And the first reason why is because when you teach someone how to eat for their body, they are able to develop skills and learn how to trust themselves so they know how to continue doing that forever. When you give someone a meal plan, or if I say, hey, you can only eat this, and this, they're going to think these are the only things that I can eat to see results. And that is going to be the mindset they're stuck in. And they're going to think, if I go out to dinner and they don't have rice cakes and peanut butter as an option, I'm screwed. I'm going to lose all my progress. I'm going to get obsessive. And because I don't have options for my meal plan at the restaurant, I'm going to just binge and eat anything and everything because I went off my meal plan. And we almost think about it as, a lot of guilt and a lot of shame when we do mess up a meal plan. So that's why we don't necessarily out of the gates give our girls meal plans. That is not to say that we can't make one for you. If you're someone who's like, I'm busy, yes, I want to learn macros, and we'll teach you about the macros in your meal plan. But if you want structure and you're like, hey, can you just give me some meal ideas and build me out a meal plan? We will do that. I'm not saying that's not an option, but that is not our go-to method. And with giving you a meal plan, we will also teach you what's in the food you're eating. Because if you don't learn, there's no point. There's no point in following a diet or a meal plan or something that you have no idea the why behind it. If you don't know what's going into your body, it's no secret why you don't have the outcome that you want, right? So you have to start to learn, hey, what's in the food that I'm eating? A lot of people are like, hey, I'm going to add some protein to this. Let me add some avocado. Avocado is a fat. Avocado is very high in fat. And a lot of people don't know that. Or I'm going to have some protein. I'm going to have some nuts and cheese for lunch. That's probably 40 grams of fat by how many nuts you eat, plus the cheese, plus the avocado. And people are like, oh, it's so high protein. It's like maybe 7 grams. So you just start to learn what's in the food that you're eating. And you're like, oh my gosh, this whole time I was so frustrated that I thought I was eating high protein. Turns out I was literally not. And my fat content was through the roof. And I also have no carbs. And now you're like, oh my gosh, okay, I need a tortilla with my taco because I need more carbs. I need a bun with my burger because I need more carbs. And you start to learn how to eat like a human again and eat in a way that you enjoy without restricting. And that's why tracking is a tool. And that's why it's important. But the biggest thing I think and the biggest holdup with tracking is when it becomes an obsession. And I'm one to say that it completely can be an obsession. I've been there. I've lived that experience myself. And my first ever call with Shayla, who's an assistant coach on Embody You, she was my first ever coach. And our first call, I was like, I'm not tracking my food, Shayla. She was like, okay, why? And I was like, because I've done it before. I've downloaded my Fitness Pal. I've tried to stay under 1,200 calories a day and I hated it. I was obsessed. I was starving and I just binged. And she was like, okay, couple things. Number one, you said you were trying to stay under 1,200, right? Okay, so we're restricting right there, right? We're trying to stay under a certain amount. Well, our approach to that is actually how much food should you be eating? Can we look at the abundance side of it? You're only eating 1,200 calories. Good Lord, sister, we probably need to double that. So our purpose in making you track is showing you, holy crap, this is actually how much food I should be eating. 9 out of 10 girls that join our program are eating more than they did when they started, and they're finally losing weight and they're finally toned because they have muscle on their body and their body is not stuck in fight or flight mode and protecting them by storing fat, because that's what our bodies are designed to do. genetically, chemically, we are made to store food as fuel, store food as fat when we're underfed, when we're undernourished. And even if you don't realize that, if you're someone who's like, I'm not hungry till 2 p.m., I'm telling you, your metabolism is screwed up then, because I wake up ravenous. I wake up and I'm like, I'm so hungry, I need breakfast, right? Because I've retrained my metabolism to be able to hold that amount of food and use it as fuel. And now I feel more energized, and I have solid workouts, and I'm sleeping well again, and I want to do things because I'm fueling my body, right? So that's the first thing you learn is, okay, we were restricting. You were trying to stay under 1,200 calories. And another thing was like the mindset behind it. You were in this position where you wanted to just lose weight, lose weight, lose weight. That was the thing, right? You know, and my fitness pal will tell you like, okay, eat 1,200 calories and in 30 days, you'll be down 17.9 pounds. And you're like, perfect. And then that doesn't happen. And you're like, what the hell? Well, because my fitness pal doesn't know you. It doesn't know your history. It has no idea about what your occupation is, your movement. All it cares about is your height, your weight, and your age. I'm sorry, but I think that makes all of us very different. Even if I was the same height, the same weight, and the same age as someone, I think our metabolic makeup is completely different for a multitude of reasons. And my fitness pal, ChatGPT, whatever you're using to calculate your macros will not tell you that. So that's why you need a human, right? There's a lot of error when it comes to computer or online calculators. You need a human to actually subjectively look at you and be like, okay, these are the things that are changing. These are the things that aren't just objective based on your height and your weight and your age, right? So we look at you and we're like, okay, these are actually, you know, your macros. This is actually how much you should be eating. Then you're learning that. You're not restricting. You're not staying under a certain amount saying, I need to eat under this to lose weight. We're saying, hey, let's eat more and give your body that green light to burn some fat. Let's eat more and retrain your metabolism to actually use food as fuel, not make you feel bogged down, not gain a bunch of weight, none of that. Your body needs the fuel. So we're going to teach you what that looks like, because 9 out of 10 girls that come to our program are also just guessing. They're like, I don't know what I'm eating in a day. I think I'm eating healthy. And I'm like, exactly. You're just checking the box right now. There's no strategy. There's no structure. Same thing with workouts. If you don't have a plan, you don't have structure, you don't have strategy, your body feels the same way your mind does. It's like, I don't know what we're doing. We're eating 2,000 calories one day and 800 the next day. I have no idea what's going on. Same thing with workouts. We're doing this brand new leg day. We just tried a new upper body day yesterday. We've never done it before. We're not going to do it next week. I have no idea what's happening. Your body needs repetition, and it needs structure, and it needs to recognize these are the ways that we're going about this. This, you know, is a stimulus over and over of the same one, consistency over time, right? Doing the same workouts, eating the same amount of food. Your body's like, oh, I get it now. When you're confused, your body's confused. And it's why you're not seeing progress. It's why you're stuck, right? And so we teach all of our girls, hey, this is how you're actually going to pull yourself out of that. Even if you're someone who's like, but I've been tracking in it and I've been in a deficit. Girl, how long have we been there? I mean, we stay with men for too long sometimes, but let's get out of this deficit that we've been in for 6 months, right? You don't need to be there for that long. And once you are there, your body's caught up to you. So if you're under eating, your body's going to be like, oh, I get it now. We're at this 1,600 calorie deficit. Hey, found us. Your body's going to start utilizing less energy in other forms, right? And it's going to start cutting back on energy depletion, and it's going to catch up to you. And once it catches up to you, you're going to stop losing weight. Versus if you come from a maintenance calories, which a lot of people don't even start there. They're like, oh, this is my deficit. I'm going to jump right into it. Okay. First of all, we got to prime our metabolism, right? So we got to get it up to a spot where it's like, okay, 2,400 calories a day. Like, let's go, right? Then when we start dropping it and we start taking away that food, that's where your body uses that stored fat as that energy that it still needs, because it's still used to burning 2,400 calories a day. If you're not feeding it that much, it's going to find it somewhere else. It's going to find it in stored fat. So that's how a deficit works, right? You're eating less than you're moving or you're burning in a day. That's how a deficit works, but it has to be done properly. It has to be done healthy. You should not be losing your period, right? You should not be doing all of these things that make you feel like you're going to freak out and go ravenous if you have the touch of a sweet treat, right? You should be able to do this deficit in a way that's going to be healthy, because we're lifestyle. Like, we're not bodybuilders. We're not, competing in any time soon. We're not stepping on bikini stage, right? Our girls want to feel good. They want to look toned, and they want to feel strong and healthy and have energy. That's our normal girl that we work with. And this is how she's going to do that, is by fueling enough and working out in a way that's actually going to put muscle on her body to support that metabolism and support those energy levels. Those are the biggest things with the why behind tracking, is because you need to learn how much to eat. We could tell you all day, I could have your macros and just give you a meal plan and you'd be like, okay, and you'd see results. But what happens when you stop working with me? You think you just have to eat that meal plan forever and that's how you're going to stay lean and that's how you're going to keep this body? That doesn't sound fun. Instead, you're going to be like, oh my gosh, Annette taught me how much food I should be eating in a day. Annette taught me exactly what it looks and feels like to eat enough to build muscle, to eat enough to lose fat. And I finally have the knowledge and I'm not guessing anymore of what I should be eating and following this strict meal plan, thinking this is the only way I can eat for the rest of my life to actually have these results. So that's why we teach tracking. That's why we teach girls. And again, it's a tool. Tracking is not forever, right? It's not something that we expect our girls to never take a break from, to never stop, to do for the rest of their lives. Tracking is going to get you to where you want to be, right? We're going to go through a lot of cycles. It does not happen overnight. I've been tracking my food on and off for 4 years now because I know, hey, if I'm ready to dial it in for summer, I'm going to start tracking again just to reiterate to myself that I'm eating enough, right? And if I want to go into a baby deficit, I can do that. I know how to do that now. Same thing is, we're not going to be tracking forever, right? I'm never going to be like, okay, you have to track for the rest of your life. No, you're going to track to get to a spot where you feel comfortable. And then you're going to be able to be like, oh my gosh, this is how much I need to be eating in a day. And you're not going to have to track anymore. You're not going to have to do any quick diets or quick cleanses or anything to get the body that you want. You're going to know how to eat like it. And when you're ready to dial it back in or you want to dabble in tracking before your wedding, you're going to be able to do that. And it's going to be enjoyable. Like you're not going to have to cut anything out and you're going to be like, oh my gosh, I know how to do this. And it's the confidence that you build through yourself by learning these things and doing this over and over again. You're going to be like, oh my gosh, I just needed to learn how much food to eat. I needed to change my mindset around tracking and realize it's okay to put the food scale away. It's okay to go out to dinner and have fun and realize I'm not losing my progress overnight because I can choose a good meal option. Like I can choose something that's going to, replicate what I would normally eat. Or I can just be like, hey, one day off and going over on my food today is not going to hurt me versus, oh my gosh, I didn't eat my salad tonight. I'm screwed, right? And another thing that I'll say about tracking and something that I think a lot of people start to realize when they're tracking is how much the food that they think is healthy is not. A lot of times at a restaurant, you could eat a salad or you could eat a burger and the burger will have less calories and like be more macro friendly than your salad versus people who are like, I need a salad and it's got feta cheese, olives, almonds, walnuts, dressing. In that in and of itself is like 1,000 calories, right? And they're like, oh my gosh, I just had a 3,000 calorie salad. They didn't even realize it, but they think they were healthy and they're not losing weight versus the person who's like, I'm going to have a burger because I need some more protein. I need fat. Give me that bun. I need carbs. And they enjoyed their meal and they were like, I learned how to track. I know what's in food and I know what I need for the rest of the day. And I'm going to choose this option. It's freeing. It's so freeing. And if I haven't said it 17 times, it's why we teach it, because you will learn and then you'll be able to stay ahead of it and you'll be able to stay confident in your current situation and your results wherever you are. If you're on vacation, if you're in a restaurant, no matter where, you will know, you will have that knowledge and you won't need to be like, oh my gosh, I have to follow this meal plan or I can't have that no sweet treat tonight. Like you just start to learn and you're like, oh my gosh, I can fit that in. Like I can track ice cream in the morning and then build my day around it. And I still had ice cream and I'm losing fat. Yes, it takes planning, but what's toxic about planning? We measure so many things in our lives. At work, I'm sure you measure things. I'm sure there's data, right? But when it comes to our body, we think it's obsessive. We think it's unhealthy, but wouldn't obsessive be restricting and wouldn't unhealthy be not actually giving your body proper fuel? Wouldn't being unhealthy be being obsessed with food and not having the food that you want? That's unhealthy to me. I mean, which one of us restricts bread? I don't. I track my food and I eat bread every single day. A lot of people who don't and who are afraid of carbs don't eat bread. I think that's more restrictive than the act of genuinely pulling up my phone and entering my food in. That's not obsessive. The mindset behind it is, and it can be. And I've been there, like I said, I've been in years of restriction and, trying to track under a certain amount. And you have to have that mindset challenged if you want to see these results and if you want it to work for you. It won't work if you are in that mindset. And I get it. And I get the fear. And we have a lot of girls come in with that fear and we help you heal your relationship with food, right? There's things that you can learn about. Oh my gosh, I was just under fueled. That's why I felt bingy at night. And you start to realize these things and you're like, I just need to eat more during the day. And then my body isn't like, I need food at night. So the biggest thing, and I'll keep saying it over and over, is that when you are tracking your food, you have to have the right mindset. You have to have the right guidelines and you have to have the right breakdown or else you will feel off. And it's because you're not doing it right. But when you do it the right way and you're eating enough, you're like, oh my gosh, I'm seeing results. I feel good. I feel fueled. My body has what it needs. And it's like a confidence thing. You go to bed at night, you don't feel guilty about what you ate. You're like, I fed my body exactly what it needed today. Like, that's awesome. And so you start to look at it that way. And it's a really freeing experience when you do it the right way. But that is why it is going to be so important for you to learn that, and why we teach our girls the importance behind tracking, the importance behind mindset, how to do it, how to make it easier. It does not need to take long. I pre-track every day. Like, I have my whole day ready for me. I know what I'm eating. And if something changes, I can delete it and change it, right? It's not in cement. It's not tattooed on my body, but it gives me a little bit more peace of mind of, hey, I know my goals are going to be met today, and I know I'm going to feel really good tonight. That is just my little tidbit on why learning tracking is good and can be healthy and doesn't have to be obsessive if you go about it the right way. And as always, please reach out if you have a current, macro breakdown and you want to send it over to me. Just ask me questions about it. Tell me a little bit more about yourself. I can help you. I can help you start to get on the right track with that if you're someone who's been doing this. But come out of the deficit that you've been in forever. Learn how to eat enough and eat at maintenance, and train hard and put muscle on your body. Sleep enough. Get some steps and drink some water, and you'll be really good. So, as always, if you guys need anything, please reach out to me on Instagram. The application for Embody You is below. If you want to learn what your actual breakdown is, how to eat enough for results, and how to maintain them after your time with us, from the teacher and me to the teacher and all of you, thank you so much for being here with me this week, and I will see you next week. Bye.